Welcome to my channel. I'm hoping this video reaches you and helps you gain the bigger picture of our nation is in. I will provide a brief reflection of the crises we all experiencing and the solutions how we all can turn tough times around. Australia is no longer the lucky country as it once was. Its economy, once one of the strongest in the world, is hampered by the high cost of living, coupled with stagnant wages and rising unemployment that is putting a strain on households. Small businesses are struggling to stay afloat, and industries such as tourism and manufacturing are feeling the pinch. Ever since electing both federal and state Labour governments in 2020, rising interest rates and the cost of living crisis are hurting people across the nation. Major social problems already emerges. The rental crisis gotten worse when Anthony Albanese and the support of the Business Council for allowing too many immigrants, about 400,000 in 2022 and 2023, to fill up the so-called skills shortage during 2020, while there's still not enough rental properties available. This causes rental stress among locals, particularly the young trying secure a place for themselves. This is how Business Council of Australia likes to suppress wages when you have too many immigrants competing for a few available jobs. Australia's national debt of $895 billion is growing rapidly. This prompts the RBA to raise in interest rates to 4.1% over 12 months, causes mortgage stress among landlords to pass on the cost to their tenants. It doesn't help for the average Australian, with higher electricity and gas bills rising sharply, with coal and gas plants scheduled to shut down due to Labor net zero emission nonsense, as the Australian energy regulator allows retailers to jack up the standard prices up to 23.9%, despite promises of lower power bills, as we are all being misled. Low to middle income earners are being neglected, with the low to middle income tax offset removed. Aussies are ranting online about their tax returns are non-existent, and the Australian Taxation Office demanding them to pay more tax. Not even a thank you letter in return, since the Liberal government was more appreciative of taxpayers back in 2014. With both federal and state Labor government are celebrating having a tax surplus, they are still wasting taxpayers' money on worthless construction projects that only benefits their trade union friends and giving themselves a pay rise. That is classic Labor government greed. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening. The Indigenous communities continue to face systemic discrimination. Mental health issues are on the rise, especially among the youth, and the pandemic has exacerbated these problems, exposing the vulnerabilities in Australia's social fabric. Not all of social issues is about money. These crises are not isolated. They are interconnected. It is important to know that Australians are not cursed. We are living with the unintended consequences because the vast majority of us are not collectively holding our governments accountable due to everyone's political bias. It's holding us back and letting the nation down. People are distracted with major media headlines 24/7 over the past couple of years, while in Australia, child protection, domestic violence, health services breaking down, rising crime rate, business going bust, inequality and homelessness have gotten worse under Labor. You should realize that Labor currently is not doing enough to help your financial situation. Small increases in welfare is just small change compared to a massive rise in inflation, while full-time wages are still going backwards and social inequality is accelerating. In order to stop social deterioration, we need to stop elitism at the core before Australia became like Argentina in the 90s, when it experienced hyperinflation, extreme poverty, while the people are clouded with left, right and woke leaning politics before they elected a new president, as established mainstream parties were voted out. Australia needs to stop wasting taxpayers' money on bloated state and federal bureaucracy. It's unnecessary government departments, foreign aid, subsidies, private schools and universities funding that only benefit the rich and wealthy people living in major inner cities, not the average Australians in suburbia and rural areas. You got to wonder why these areas gets the biggest slice of the budget while they do spend so little on cost of living pressures. Our current federal and state governments are the problem. We all need to put aside our political differences and come together in unity for the greater good of our country before this beast is going to consume us all. What can you really do right now for your sake and your future? It's time to be honest with yourself and realize what a complete mess Australia is in at the moment, regardless of Anthony Albanese's incompetence and his state Labor colleagues pretending that they really care about you or even any political party that is in office. If you weren't better off during 2020, then you won't be better off right now. It's time to direct your frustrations at them. You need to be vocal and critical of all federal and state governments. If you see the cracks emerging, then it's time to speak up. Your opinions really matters to your community. Don't hold back in public, on social media, on the radio and television. You got to realize the Labour government, along with the Greens, is the source of your personal pain all along, with recession is looming and cost of living raging out of control. Stop following influencers, media personalizes, celebrities and unions that supports Labour, as they don't stick up for you anymore. Yes, I'm talking about people like Clementine Ford, The Project, Jimmy Barnes and Jane Carroll, like many useless famous people on TV and social media. They are part of the problem, not part of the solution. Enough is enough already. It's time to make the elites irrelevant and have your voice to be heard. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give a like and subscribe to the channel.